So welcome back to another video watercolour demonstration. Also got a few bollards. We've got a building here on the left hand side. Some very old 16th and actually before that 14th 13th century medieval buildings here. Anyway, I'm going to get stuck into it. Sunny day, shadows. Let's see what happens. So we're going to start out with some cerulean blue. Just pop that in. The paper I'm using today is Saunders. No, it's not Saunders, but it's by Cuthbert's Mill, who makes Saunders Waterford. Paper I'm using today is Milford. It's an equivalent archival 100% cotton paper based around a recipe from Whatman, who ceased trading in about 2002. I've done a product review comparing this paper to the original Whatman papers, so you'll find that on my channel somewhere. In fact, I'll probably put a link at the end of this video actually. I'm now going to go into a touch of yellow ochre, or ochre, depending upon which way you want to pronounce it, and we'll just come down over these buildings here. There's quite a lot of similarly coloured buildings in Bergerac. A lot in shadow as well in this painting. I've shaded those parts in that are in shadow. Just need to be careful when we're coming down, cutting around these cars and some of the figures here. There's a few doorways there as well. Because this is on an angle, this will run down and shouldn't hopefully bleed back up. I'm using quite a small brush because this is a small painting. Just pop it in there. So this is just the initial first colouring really, first wash. Just need to cut around these figures' heads quite carefully. And then kind of join everything out. There's a couple of figures here. And there we go, we've got some bleed into the sky, but I don't worry about that. Finally on this side, as I said, this is just the first wash. Tend to go a bit stronger here. This is all in shadow on this side as well. There we go. That would do for the first wash on the buildings. Then we're going to just cut around the cars quite carefully. We're going to come in with some grey mixture. We need this quite light. I'm not quite sure what this was in here. It's looking rather grey though. We'll probably add a touch of blue to this blue cobalt. But as I said, we need to keep it nice and light in here. Let's just have a quick test. It's quite dark. Get a bit of sparkle in. There is a lot of light, as I said, in this painting, so we need to make sure we've got plenty of that reflected across on this street level. Especially around our figures and this car here. It's going to become really important as a focal point. Kind of stage managing it really. We've got the lighter figures here, the darker figures there, so we need light around them. It's all a way of looking at light, dark all the way through. And that will do. We just now need to really wait for this to dry. So this brush is a number 12. It's a synthetic Royal Langnickel. It's quite adequate for this small painting. I'm also going to be using this number 12 Escoda brush, treble brush, and also on the finer detail this number 2 Escoda treble brush. All of these are synthetic brushes. I'm now going to start to go in with a few more details in here. So thinking about colours, it's always important to consider what we're going to do. I just want to make this figure really, really dark. So I'm going to come in with some neutral tint. Just check that that's dry before we come in here. It's always worth trying to just get this, or these sort of figures in quite quickly. Don't be too fussy about them. I always find France amazing and quite fascinating actually. The older generation in France, whatever the weather, hot or cold, can be absolutely baking or cool. They just wear their black. It's almost like their Sunday best. I'm going to have a bag in here as well. So, this is burnt sienna and burnt umber here. Just pop this head in at a slight angle. There we go, that'll do for the moment. So we can see that this is going to be our focal point here. We've got our foils of these lighter characters. Just pop in a head here, pop in a head there. And this character's head. And there's a couple of characters right back there. I like to pop in the heads quite early so I can get a sort of an idea of scale on my figures and where they're sitting. You can get a better idea of depth and how you want that to work out really. Let's just bring this character's leg down a touch more so I'm a little bit longer. That'll do, I think. I kind of got plenty of movement in there. Slightly on the tilt. That's not a bad thing. Good. And then we're going to be popping some shadows across. I don't lavishly follow the lines and the sketch that I've done. Things do change as we go along. So I'm going to design this around here. Same little mixture. Let's just pop in touch of detail in here, see how that's going to work out. Cars are interesting because you may have seen many times all kinds of artists talking about the importance of the shadow, and that really is important when we're doing cars, especially the shadow underneath the car. I'm not gonna go crazy on any sort of details here because it's just going to be washed over. I'm just going to define the shoulders of these guys a little bit. I know this is kind of wet back here and I just want that to be soft anyway. As part of a door there, same as this one here. It's quite dark. Dry brush in there, so just define around this car. There is a shop doorway here. Just be a little bit careful around the head of the figure. Pop that in here as well. Okay, just testing that that's still damp. Kind of dry brush technique here. I'm bringing this detail in quite early, and because although it's a lovely old building, this is not my main focus. So, going to get this in quite quickly. I might come off the perspective lines here because it does look a little bit on the wonk. Burnt umber is a great colour if you want to just sort of outline a few things, especially in dry brush style painting. Just getting a mixture of brush strokes in here as well. As I said, I need to sort of straighten this up a little bit. Stand up for that. Go back on the end of the brush to create more of a loose effect. There we go. So, trying to paint quite quickly on this. Get this done as quick as we can. So at the moment all of this has been done with the Escoda. Just make this a little bit wetter in here. These details, we don't need to really fuss and focus around too much on these, simply because they're not the main focus at all. They're kind of superfluous in many ways. Just need to be thinking carefully about windows and how they're being popped in and their angles, getting them right. Suggestions of bits and bobs going back. That's fine. Just pop in these posts as well. I won't be too fussy with these. Just get a basic shape, and we'll sort these out with shadows. Really, they just help with recession and making things go backwards a bit. You can come with the smaller brush now. The smaller brush will help quite a lot because we can just suggest a few lines just to guide the eye in. Don't need too many, it's easy to overdo this. In reality, there's kind of paving here, but we'll just keep this quite straightforward. That'll do it. Okay. One last little thing before we wait for this to dry. The edge of the building here. It's quite a big door because it's quite a dry mixture of burnt umber. Keep that quite loose. Pop in some darker notes in here somewhere. That'll do. Remember, we're kind of designing the eye to go here and then it'll look around the rest of the buildings. This is the area we really want to focus on.